Recognize the gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Wenstrup, to inquire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you all for being here today. I think you can tell across this committee that there is definitely support for deeper U.S. engagement with our friends in Taiwan. The vibrant democracy, their economy, values, common interests, they're all there, and it's exactly the kind of trading partner that we want to be engaging with. I've heard the word trust thrown out here many times today, and that's hugely important when it comes to what we're dealing with today, especially on the global stage that we have. And I'm glad the administration has begun negotiations with Taiwan on the U.S.-Taiwan initiative on 21st century trade. But I'm disappointed the administration not taking full advantage of an opportunity it has to advance U.S. interests in the Indo-Pacific region. And we need to engage with Congress on renewing a trade promotion authority. And we really need to advance in that way, in my opinion. So while we see a lot of promise, the initiatives that we are seeing, they suffer from a fundamental flaw, and that's that Congress has not been formally brought into the process through Trade Promotion Authority, which I actually call Congressional Trade Authority as much as anything else. And it's an opportunity. I don't want to miss this opportunity that we have. And I want to assure that we aren't missing that opportunity to advance U.S. interests in the region in general and form a lasting, durable, comprehensive way. You know, one of the things that I get very concerned about, and this is a national security concern that we have today. If we can't produce something domestically, especially, then we've got to do it with people that we trust and that are allies. And this is the opportunity that we have. But when we look, China doesn't want to make Taiwan more like the United States. They want to make it more like China. Right? They want to make it more like mainland China. And so that's the exact opposite of what we want. So their interests in Taiwan are far different from ours. But, going to the national security interests, I look at national health security. If you'd have told me as a surgeon in Iraq that my protective equipment relied on an adversary, China, and my pharmaceuticals relied on China. Like, how did we get here? We got a problem here, so we got to start turning this ship around. So if you would, Ms. Glazer, anybody who really wants to comment, let's talk about shifting away from critical supply chains from China, Taiwan being a great example. What are the benefits? What do you see we can gain in engaging with Taiwan in particular when it comes to our national security and our supply chain?
Congressman, I'd be happy to take a stab at that and then welcome anyone else on the panel who may wish to add. I think the semiconductor chips from TSMC, but also a lot of the high-tech equipment, that's absolutely critical for our national security, right? And then Taiwan is a leader when it comes to industrial manufacturing. If we think about particularly, some of the specialized materials, the Internet of Things, right? Taiwan is at the forefront of all of that. This is going to be critical. We need to not only just shift the supply chains, we need to be shifting how we think about those services that's aligned with all that. And as I highlighted, right, Hong Kong used to be one place that we used to flow this through. That's no longer within the domain of what many businesses consider to be trusted. We've got to think about how do we source that in Asia with our friends. And I think a trade agreement, as I answered the chairman, is just but one tool for how we do that. We've got to be thinking about investment, export controls, critical technology controls. It's all part of one large part of the equation that's vital for American security.
I appreciate that. We want to make sure we dot the I's and cross the T's, right? But certainly let's focus on the things that are going to be most important to us going forward and also most important to us right now. So I appreciate that input. And anyone else that maybe want to comment?
Thank you, Congressman. You mentioned national security, and those of us in the ag sector believe that food security is national security as well. And it just makes a whole lot of sense to me that we have a good trading relationship with a country like Taiwan that shares our political and economic values and our structure. And they know they can depend on us maybe for food, and we can depend on them for some of those chips. So,
Yeah, it's a good trade because nutrition is certainly part of the health equation that we're concerned about. So, thank you. I yield back.
Thank the gentleman for claiming Mr. Kelly's time.